Hello people, it's your boy Usman back again with another video. Just before getting to the video, I just want to say my condolences for those who passed away in the Manchester bombing yesterday. It's a very sad story. I'm hearing the Europa League officials have allowed to have a 1 minute silence prior to the game tomorrow, and also everyone's going to be wearing black armbands, and rightly so. I really hope the players put in a performance, but this is a bloody preview for Manchester United v Ajax in the Europa League final. I don't really care about the trophy itself, but I care about the fact it gives us an opportunity to get back in the bloody Champions League. You know, it's a major thing for us United fans. We've been talking about it pretty much all season. We want Champions League football next season, and this is our opportunity. We've got one game to prove ourselves. Anything can happen. We saw what happened against Southampton. You know, flipping, it was absolutely shocking. The League Cup definitely didn't deserve to win. However, we won it in the end, so I'm really hoping somehow we get through this game and get the victory. I don't really give a damn about the performance, all about the win and get it back into the Champions League. Oh my god, I'm so bloody nervous going into this game. I don't really know what to expect from ourselves. You know, Ajax are a very good team. You know, we've seen what they're capable of going forward. However, they do have many flaws at the back, and they're more than susceptible to conceding a goal. And you saw against Lyon, they kind of crumbled under pressure. That was down to their youth. But just want to talk about our team in general. First things first, our last game against Crystal Palace, we won 2-0, very convincing victory. You know, the youth players got to run out. It doesn't really, you know, give us any indication of how the players are going to set up for this game, because most of which didn't really perform or play in the game at Crystal Palace. And prior to that game, you know, we haven't really been fantastic in the league. The players haven't really stepped up. You know, I have made a lot of excuses for the players, but there's no excuses. There's no opportunities to hide. This is the game. They can't hide. There's no excuses now. They need to turn up, and they really need to put in a performance, because make no mistake about it, if you play the way we've been playing the last couple of weeks in the league against a team like Ajax, with the lack of intensity, we're going to get absolutely hammered. I'm not expecting that to happen, especially from a Jose Mourinho team. If anything, this guy knows how to set up a team, especially to win any game on its day. You know, we saw what we're capable of against Chelsea, and that's the kind of thing I want us to do. You know, press high up the pitch. This Ajax team are very quick in and behind. However, the defense is very, very poor. So there's opportunities for us to obviously, you know, stop them from attacking by attacking them on the front four, and, you know, starting our defensive duties from the likes of Rashford, Mkhitaryan, and all those front three who are playing at the top of the pitch, because it's important that we put pressure on them early on and don't allow their players to set in. And like I've said, the defense is a massive weak link. We saw against Lyon how they crumbled under the pressure. They conceded those quick goals in consecutive sort of moments. You know, it just shows a lack of sort of experience in those moments. You know, a normal team would just see the game out to half time, but for them, they conceded 2 goals on the 45th minute mark, and my sister-in-law was laughing at me, but I'm gonna continue anyways. Like I'm saying, let's get in their faces from the minute one. Let's get flipping right in their faces and try to put a bit of pressure on. We haven't done that enough since the Chelsea game. We haven't really put pressure on the team from the get-go. You know, start the game in the means we wish to continue the game. You saw with the youngsters, they started it on the front foot and they got the just rewards, got those 2 early goals, and after that they could control the game. By all means, I don't mind that sort of laboured sort of football when you're 2-0 up or 3-0 up, but when it's 0-0, you need to be hitting the flipping ground running and actually putting pressure on the opposite team. So saying that, the way I want us to play is obviously play the ball quickly in and around that area, pass the ball quickly through the thirds. That's been my main criticism in a major of the games we've had this season. We're moving the ball too slow through the thirds, which is allowing teams to set up against us quite easily. And when we are getting the ball, we run out of ideas, we play down the wing, and we cross it in, and there's bloody nobody in the box, so it's kind of pointless. Obviously, we're not going to score that many goals. We haven't scored that many goals this season, and that's kind of one of the reasons why we haven't been as clinical as we probably could have, because in the final third, it's almost like the players run out of ideas, a lack of sort of confidence and risk taking. And that's why, for me personally, Pogba is the main man. Pogba is the only guy who has the capabilities as well, not the only guy, but he has been the guy to lock and unlock any defense at any given moment. You've seen throughout this season, he's played through balls to to Zlatan, Rashford, Mickey, etc. And unfortunately for them, they've not been taking the chances, but Pogba has been there to create the chances, and this is going to be a very important game for our midfield. The game is going to be won and lost in the middle of the park. It's as simple as that, and for me, it's a no-brainer. Herrera and Pogba definitely starting. It's just the third person. I don't know who Jose is going to go. Fellaini, from what I'm hearing, is available for selection. He has recovered from a hamstring injury. Me personally, I don't think he should be playing because he's barely trained as it is, but even if he had trained, I wouldn't play him. You lot know what I think about Fellaini. So bearing that all in mind, I'm going to go into my team section, obviously give a bit of reasonings. Jose has already said Romero is playing in net, so there's not really much point in me even wasting my breath on the De Gea argument. I don't really see the point of not having De Gea in net. Yes, the sentimentality thing is very nice, Jose, I appreciate it, but this is not the time to be sentimental. This is the time that you got to be bloody ruthless and put your best players on the pitch. So moving on to the right back, there's no brainer. Antonio Valencia is right back. Centre backs for me, obviously Bailly suspended, Smalling or Jones. I'm going to go for flipping Jones. Jones and Blaine centre-back partnership. I just think I'm a bit more confident with Jones in there. Yes, I know he's got a mistake in him, but Smalling for me has not been as, dominant as he was last season. I just think he's, lacking confidence. I just don't think he's the same player as he was under Van Gaal. I don't know, for whatever reason. I don't really care. Like I said, it's not a time for sentimentality. Jones and Blaine centre-back. Left-back, Darmian, he picks himself. Got other options there. Centre of the part, the three in the middle. Herrera, Pogba, no-brainers. And for me, it's going to have to be carried just for his control and his experience in the game. It's important with game management, like I've already said with the Ajax. They lack that bloody experience, especially against Lyon. The way they crumble under pressure, and that's something we can't afford to do, especially when there's so much pressure on this game. We need that sort of control and composure on the ball, and just a bit of leadership in the middle part is going to be massively important for us to have carrying in the middle part instead of Fellaini. On the right, Mkhitaryan. On the left, Martial. And up front, Rashford. Why not just go attacking? Like I've said, Ajax's defense is the weak flipping point. The attack is obviously the strongest point. The defense is easily gettable if we try and go and win the ball up further up the pitch. We need to get in the faces from minute one and try to put pressure on them exactly the way we played against Chelsea. If we play the way we played against Chelsea, I know it's very easy for me to say we're going to win the game, but it's more to do with the pressing sort of style of football. If we sit up and allow them to have possession of the ball, they're going to pick us off. They're very good going forward. Our defensive sort of duties or defensive sort of frailties have been, there for everyone to see. Recently in particular, I have said against Spurs and Arsenal, we've not played our best teams, but our defense has pretty much been our best defense that we could have put on, and it's not been acceptable, especially against Spurs. We were getting ripped apart left, right, centre. No one was watching Dele Alli's runs, and players like Dolberg, flipping Traore and Klassen are going to have an absolute field day. So moving on to their team, let's talk about their team. The main man himself, Dolberg, he's got 23 goals this season. The guy has been in fine form, and generally his finishing ability is flipping second to none. He's so clinical. I'm surprised no Premier League team has gone for him. I'm assuming there's going to be quite a lot of people after the guy and after his signature. He's so clinical, like he only needs half a chance and he'll take it. And recently we've been giving too many chances away, and he's not flipping one of those players that you need to be giving one or two or three chances for that man, because he will flipping punish you. Klassen, again, he's got about 20 goals this season. He's been fantastic as well. He's a midfield maestro. And also Traore, again, he's another player that we need to watch out for. He's got flipping bags of pace. It's just them three in particular, the main men, the main threats for them. I really hope Jose doesn't play too defensive against a team like Ajax, because like I said, going forward they've got sheer pace, and if you sit back and allow them to have space on the ball, they're going to pick you off, and eventually they will break us down. It's as simple as that. We can't allow them to dominate the game. We have to dominate the game from the middle of the park, and we have to control the game. All the battles are going to be important, especially the battle in the middle of the park. It's going to be the difference, between winning and losing this game. That's why it's important for me to have Carrick in there to control the bloody game. I'm very nervous going to this game. I think it's going to be a stupidly tight game, mainly because of the pressure and how much is riding on our players. You've seen in the past how our players are very flimsy, especially at the back. I'm just a bit worried, I'm not going to lie, about the fact that they just can't handle pressure. You've seen this season, every time we've had an opportunity to get to top four, if we win the game basically in the Premier League, we're in the top four. Every single flipping time without fail, we've bottled it. You got to put that down to character and lack of ability, and just a pair of balls to flip and deal with the pressure. And that's what it comes down to. Even against Southampton, I think we crumbled under the pressure. We got very lucky that Zlatan performed on the day and carried us to the bloody trophy. But it's going to be an interesting game. Flipping looking forward to the game, nevertheless, but very nervous. That aside, I don't really have much else to say apart from I hope you've enjoyed the bloody video. Drop it a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. My score prediction, I have to back Man United, my own flipping team, to get the victory and hopefully secure that Champions League football and, build the foundations for next season. That aside, I hope you've enjoyed your day. Like I said, condolences for those who lost a lot in Manchester yesterday. Hopefully the players put in a performance for them. I'm saying hopefully a lot, but man is hoping that Man United get through to the bloody Champions League. Come on, boys. Come on, United!